I want to call it a weird game number one. It was extremely slow, very much not the case for the rest of the games that we've seen in this tournament, so kind of an aberration of sorts. This time, I think we're going to see a lot of action as let's talk about the bounty rune situation as per norm. Jabs, gets stunned, gets off the overwhelming odds, trying to take out Insania, but he's the one surrounded, and he's the one that will be eventually brought down. Pops a Fairy Fire, but the first blood will still go to Insania in the end.
Tried giving it to Mikko. I think he missed on the high ground, as Insania will end up taking this first blood. We saw this yesterday from them as well, where they have this Darkseer. They leave Zai for like the first 30 seconds alone. Foxy helps his team to eventually get this first blood, but we've got ourselves a Liquid Lone Druid that Fear Darkness. He called it.
Fear is actually a god.
He's a god.
That was, I mean, it's been picked twice in this tournament, so basically not at all. 0-2. I don't think Liquid's picked it yet, though. Yeah. What do you think of the Lone Druid in this game?
It's a pretty good pick, and it's one of the timings that if you're Liquid, you've got to be looking for it. Lone Druid does well in the mid lane against Storm, and you also have Lion and Ench who can easily collapse there. So for Talon, in order to keep their early game intact, they're going to have to look at Mikoto to do well on the lane and then also help him defend like this first big move from Liquid.
And how does this matchup go? The Lone Druid versus Storm.
I may have said it 10 seconds ago, but it is Lone Druid favored.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Slightly. Or I would say like some 60-40, maybe even 65-35. But the most important or the scary part is that Liquid have the playability to even help him after he wins the lane.
And how does that mid lane go for Storm Spirit? All right, just, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Kazu,
Vacuum's
okay,
done.
vacuum into the Impale. Ollie hexed and brought down by Zai. So, good start for Liquid early on. As 23 Savage will be playing the Faceless Void this time. His initiations are going to need to be on point for sure.
Yep.
Cannot have some of the mistakes that we saw from last game.
Level 2 timing abuse here from Liquid. One thing that could happen this game for Talon is like maybe you get some pressure down here, you bring your IO bottom and you do try to tower dive like Mickey or Insania early on. I think that's one punch back for them in this game around. I would say like how Talon adapted, just take out the Medusa, take out the Beastmaster, because at this stage in the tournament, you just want to try to make it easier for yourself. But this early game, I would say, again, Liquid, they've got the tempo.
Yeah, Talon side, they do have a lot of burst damage, though. Once Jabs can get, I mean, we've seen a few Legion Commander games this tournament, and it's been banned a lot more than I thought it was going to be, in fact. But you have the old duel into Mystic Flare eventually that will delete just about anybody, not named Lone Druid, as long as he's in his true form.
It's a lot of pressure from this bottom lane. Like, Drow Ranger does fare pretty damn good against Legion in the lane. You've got this double range, which is just annoying, because LC, it's a very snowball-heavy hero by nature. You want to do well in your lane, keep kind of going forward, try to slowly take the tier 1.
And what do you think of the IO pick this game? It's not, I mean, there's obviously the IO Storm to provide mana, but typically there's a carry that makes good use of it. I would say Faceless Void is not exactly the prototypical combo.
Honestly, I think it was hard for them to pick a support at that point. There were like 5 or 6 supports banned at the time, so I think IO was probably one of their better picks. It could allow them to help you play the map, but most importantly, if you like get a little bit of tempo on Mikoto or Jabs, you can try to play through that. Like, they need to find some early timings later with the IO to just tether through and help a core.
And Liquid's push, just in general, looks insanely good once it gets online, especially with this Drow, which I think took you off guard in terms of it being picked. What do you think about that here in this game?
I mean, it's more that they're going to have to be playing on timings and I think helping your team out, because overall they have a lot of jump on Talon later if they get there. Like if the game is even as Boxy with a TP here to go against Mikoto.
Yeah, we'll get the Impale. Rune is secure from Mikoto.
Wow.
Will it cost him his life though? Insania. One impetus does not miss. Down goes Mikoto. That is a huge kill for Liquid. And for Nisha in that mid lane is cute. Getting slowed down. Multi-shot is there from Mickey to finish him off. And now Jabs.
Careful.
He's surrounded by 2 heroes from Liquid along with a Centaur that cannot be underestimated. Jabs attempting to TP out. Do they have the damage? Oh, very close call. Will get out. That would have been atrocious. Actually goes to the tier 1, so
that's still
gonna need some major regen.
That's still very costly for him as he has to expand his TP tangles and salve. So pretty much 300 gold in order to get out there. But Boxy, he's just been doing a lot of good work in some of these games. The first blood early, the heads-up TP against Mikoto, now going mid and also de-warding this mid high ground ward, applying even more pressure on this Mikoto Storm. And he's already losing this matchup.
Yeah, Nisha, level 5, so level advantage on the side of Liquid in the mid lane. You can see Boxy in the trees looking for a potential opening before Mikoto hits level 6. He's not even remotely close because he just hits level 5 there. The fact that he's here this early, 1 minute before the power room.
Yeah. I mean, this, I've said it before, but Boxy is giving me major Jarex vibes from how he's moving in the early game. He's so free, he's always in the right place at the right time, and they know where to play through. They dewarded the mid ward, they've got their own lane ward beyond the tier 1 now. And Zai is pretty much A-okay in this 1v2 top. Like, it's just a faceless void IO, not the most pressure. Insane at bottom.
Does take quite a bit of damage. Jabs not in the area to be able to get off the overwhelming odds. But Boxy there with a beautiful impale onto 2. Q is dead, and Jabs likely will be next. Oh, he's going to get linked up by Ollie, though, making his transition over through that gate, but it's still too much damage as Mickey will secure another kill, and now the impale onto Ollie. Things are just falling apart early game here for Talon, and another kill will go the way of Liquid. Double kill for Mickey. My goodness, I was not expecting a start this good for the Liquid side.
But this is some open AI gameplay currently. You leave your Zai up top, who now has a Vanguard, so he's A-okay. There's going to be a lot more pressure coming through now from both your safe lane and the mid lane. It's Nisha, level 6, Shield Rune. We've got the Bear with high level, so Mikoto's tower probably going to get slowly whittled away, but perhaps they will look to play through him. I mean, Mikoto did a good job. The fact that he did get level 6 at an equal timing, yeah, very big for Talon.
Dire's top tower is under
Highest
attack.
amount of assists at 6 minutes.
I mean, he's been everywhere.
He has.
Been top, mid, bottom, bottom again, mid again, bottom again, now back to top.
Zai getting free farm despite there being 2 members of Talon here. They're not really able to do much. Boxy will likely just sit for that Wisdom Rune to make sure that there's no stealing shenanigans. That's one way that Talon could try to get back in this game, but we can see on the minimap they're not really making their way over there at all.
Talon need minute 10, I think. Like, you need more levels. Like, you're going to need some Skyref ult come out, which is generally going to be like minute 9, minute 10. So the Wisdom Rune is definitely important. And this is why Lone Word is so annoying against Storm. You can't really gank the Lone that easily. And if you ever leave the lane of Storm, your tower just gets chopped down.
Yeah, we're seeing that right now. Already at half HP for that tier 1. Okay, what's the itemization from Lone Druid in these days? Like Mask of Madness, something like that on the Bear?
It's just Mom Desolator, right? I think you just Mom Deso, you pace up the game.
Then AC or something like that?
Something like that just sounds good to me.
Basher, of course. Classic.
Yeah.
Mikoto is level 6 now. We can see Boxy
Dire's middle tower.
Good D1 by
relatively
Talon.
close by to try to get off an Impale or Hex.
I mean, they can just take this tower without any commit.
Yeah.
Radiant are
Just a
scanning.
Bear and a Tomato working together to damage this tower. Even Zai makes his way over, so maybe trying to force a lot of mana
Mikoto?
usage on this Storm to get away, and Zai coming in from the backstab situation.
Good
Mikoto
silence.
zips to the other side. Ollie's going to
23
connect as well.
is here.
23 Savage with an early chrono onto 3. Do they have the damage to take out Zai? There's a back wall to follow, though. They do lose their Darkseer, and Talon able to disengage. So Liquid losing a valuable member. They will likely get the tier 1 anyway, but not exactly the way that they drew that up.
Good rotation from 23 and Talon there. You were going to lose this tower, so getting a Chrono out and getting like a turn kill on Zai, which honestly I thought it was going to be way harder for them to kill him. So good kind of punch back, but still got a laning issue here. This Liquid Mickey Drow Ranger. He's just pumping all these arrows into jabs.
All right, I think the question that everyone is wondering in chat right now, is this a good Glacier game?
Yes.
Okay.
You will see it, of course, with the Tormentor being taken. That's funny.
You need like 4 Tormentors to get that, I think. And Insania now making his way to the top lane, along with Mickey.
Dire's courier has been
You see
killed.
23 Savage forced out completely. Not quite finished with his Mask of Madness yet.
No TP yet, as Liquid, very similar to game 1. They're going to be the ones to pace up the game here, and Talon don't really have any way of stopping them. Their D push is non-existent. Like, Legion Commander doesn't have a long-range Q anymore. It's only around yourself. So what is really going to be stopping Liquid here to just run down on the map?
Stupendous.
And Zai taking some stacks here. 23 Savage will just have to TP out. So wasting a lot of time. And you're right. In terms of like defensive capability, they don't have a whole lot. I mean, for them, I think the best defense would be offense
Yes.
with the likes of Jabs once he picks up his eventual Blink Dagger.
Talon need to play an open map, try to push as many lanes as possible, and look for pickoffs later with Storm Zip into the Mystic Flare, like try and get some kills that way, and play the map with this relocate. Because there is no 5v5 fighting into Liquid. It is not possible. You need to catch him off guard and delay this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's already a 4K lead for Liquid. We're seeing that Jabs actually builds his Blade Mail first, so delaying the Blink Dagger. So that will likely delay any action coming from Talon.
They can still smoke through Mikoto, so him getting this DD rune is very big with the current state of the map. Looks like Liquid want to go down bottom, or at least help Nisha a little bit. So breaking some smokes around the map, while Boxy is going to be able to sap some experience in the mid lane. I could see Talon go for a smoke after Q gets his level 6 here on the Skyref up top.
Yeah, the Mystic Flare is going to be
It's
pretty
needed.
vital for them to actually get a kill.
They go without it for now with the DD, but if Nisha just pops R, he will not be dying to these 3 heroes, I think, unless 23 maybe reinforces very early on.
Yeah, Bear right now has Phase Boots, Mask of Madness, as Insania gets caught by the Storm, but the instant Hex from Boxy's there into the Impale. Can they get the root? No. Makoto zips away, and now the relocate.
It looks like Ollie will have to pay the price.
Well, he does have a link in Jabs, but Boxy is there to counteract it. Impale, and the death for the IO. Now a tier 1 tower will be focused by Liquid and likely taken for free.
Well, next tower on the map is, while they're taking the tower, even pushing out 23 from his own triangle. And I guess it ain't his own anymore. Gonna go back up to a 6k gold lead. I mean, the name of the game for Liquid. Take all these outer towers, minute 15, Dire Roche, very likely on the deck. You get the Deso and you go for tier 2s.
Yeah, he's only 1 Mithril Hammer away from that Deso on the Bear. That thing is looking quite scary indeed.
Even
and
if you,
like you said, the Roche can come pretty early as well. Like, they can get every objective, including the Tormentor, if they want. But of course, we know that Liquid do not. So don't ask about the Tormentor again, because stop bringing it up.
I'll bring it up. 5 minutes. That's Jab. Yeah, you've just... Okay, so he's got the Blade Man to what? Help him farm some of these Ancients? But even if Mickey is just around, if they jump
My
Nisha...
goodness, he can't even take this.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep pulling them out and around. Tormentor, not available.
Walking over the corpse of the Tormentor from the last game.
They see Mickey on this ward, but how do you ever make a move? Like, you need... Mikoto needs to be smoked with Q at some point if they do find an opening, and then Ollie like comes in with a relocate. Until then, all Talon can do, play an open map and try to get to this late game. Or even just later stages of the game. Because there's also a pipe going to be coming out on Darkseer, so you cannot fight into this liquid ball.
Yeah, absolutely not. And what exactly, oh man, this blink is just, I feel like it's so needed on Jabs. He just hasn't been able to find the farm so far this game. He's bottom net worth of all the cores.
Yeah, if he can try to slowly get there, as of course he's, yeah, not really the closest, but as long as the game is staying like this, they're doing okay. But we've seen this in game 1. Game slows down a little bit from like, what, minute 12 to 15. But then you get some of these major items, you get this Deso on the Bear, and this game will ramp up very quickly.
Indeed. Insania getting close to finishing his Force Staff for the eventual Hurricane Pike, which we've talked about this before, but oh, Chronosphere from
Relocate.
23 Savage. There's the Mystic Flare. First of the game, I do believe, relocate a bit late. They lose their Lion from the Liquid side.
No, Talon will take that. Like, sure, Chrono's down, maybe that helps you like be more confident about taking Roche, but Talon, honestly, there's no fighting into them anyway, so you might as well just expand your Chrono to get some of these kills.
Insania. I mean, with relocate being down, is that, I mean, how big of a spell is that for Liquid to even care about at this point?
I actually think Liquid don't care. Like, they know that at this point, Talon can't really find him, as Insania may have overstepped his welcome.
Yeah, gonna get stunned up.
Mark of Courage.
Still pretty damn. Every game you have to mention it.
Of course.
I mean, that's one of the values of the Deer. You're super tanky, do a ton of damage. 23 Savage getting forced out again.
This is a bit annoying. Only 3 levels in the Time Walk, as Nisha will continue to chase perhaps a little bit here. Forced to pop the Mask of
Boxy's
Madness.
going to be spotted by Makoto, who doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with, but will be enough with that Mystic Flare from Q. So able to find a couple kills now onto Boxy, who's been a thorn in their side from the beginning of this game.
Well, Talon doing some good stuff on the map, and also, like, we kept talking about Jabs' Blink earlier. He's getting closer now. As you know, he's just getting to chill bottom all the time. Looks like Boxy wants his team to kind of speed it up, as he's drawing this arrow up to top like 3 to 4 times now. The Deso is about to come out on Nisha as well, and I don't blame him. Talon have no way of fighting you head on.
Yeah. Phylactery on Q, by the way.
More
Very
damage.
Cool. Love that. Makes Ancient Seal do damage and slow.
This could be cool for Talon. They know it's hard to defend the top tier 2, but they're waiting on the mid lane to see if someone will show. But Mickey with some very good patience.
Yeah, one Gust onto Mickey could spell Doom, but Ollie's there to link him up. Multi-shot.
Gotta get
do a decent amount of damage. There's a relocate coming out. So Makoto will be safe, and this gank not successful from the Talon side. And there's the blink. That is what we've been waiting for Jabs. And I feel like they have to get good value out of this item.
Yep, we've got the Blink Blade Mail, of course with the Mystic Flare follow-up, but they still need to be careful about how you jump in. Like, let's say you jump in a bit too much, there comes the Pipe Aura, some Vacuum Wall, and you just get clamped down by this Deso Bear. Still not the easiest task. They are smoking up though.
Yep, Talon are on the way. I don't think they're going to make it though, this Bear. That Mask of Madness, maybe they will.
I think they'll make it. And they are
Okay,
quite
though.
low on some of these heroes.
Yeah, he goes into the pit as well. It's going to speed it up. 23 Savage had his Chronosphere. This is a really important fight. Insane gets spotted first, though, but there's the Gust on the 23 Savage with the wall as well. 23 Savage gets vacuumed in and dies. And just like that, Talon will have to concede the Roche. Now, Jabs, linked up by Ollie, will be able to get out. So only one kill, but it's probably the most important one that Liquid can find, and that should be a freebie.
Back to pushing lanes here for Talon, as Insania came in for pretty nice and clutch timing on the gate and just finds 23 Savage. Well, there's definitely room for failure there, but it's going to be an easy Roche at the end of it all.
Nisha will take it.
Do you know what line Boxy just drew?
No.
Bottom into the Tormentor.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. It's 3 minutes away. Aghanim Scepter online for Mickey. So it has that hypothermia, which is really good this game against the Legion Commander, against the IO.
Really good. Yeah.
Lowering all that regen.
Will rebuy his Dragonlance later. Also definitely hoping to pick up a Grove Bow as Philosopher's Stone on Lone Druid. Very happy about that one.
Yep, true.
Probably the only core in the game that benefits as much. Maybe Enigma.
Yeah, no doubt. Remember back in the day when this was the worst Aegis carrier in the game, the Lone Druid. The bear would die with you. No longer, though. It's a separate entity as Insania is spotted out. Gets off his heal.
I think they need Q for this, right?
Well, there's a TP coming in the form of Boxy. Mickey's here as well. Gust onto just the Storm.
They'll have to look for the reload.
The Impale. Ollie does have his ult available. Uses it a little too late, though, so Makoto just drops casually.
That's going to be a follow kill, and in the meantime, look at the big bad bear.
Yeah, he already took the tier 2. And now we'll be able to poke at the high ground if they want. I'll go for the eventual Tormentor in 2 minutes that will continue to mention for no reason. Impale, Gust, another kill the way of Liquid. They are stomping in game number 2. This is nothing like their last matchup that went 3 games, super epic. It has been all Liquid all day today.
6k building damage at 18 minutes. I mean, he's just going to keep racking up records because what is going to stop him from hitting these towers? He's even got the Drow Aura for his main hero to hit, which it doesn't matter that much, but just adding more insult. Injury to insult. I don't know how this saying goes, but
yep,
you know
something
what
like that, yeah. You injured your insulter, I think is what you're trying to say. Crimson Guard now up and running. That's going to make it even more difficult for Jabs to get a kill with the duel. I mean, have we seen a duel this game? Literally, has he cast the spell once?
He has not.
And now the tier 3 is starting to get pounded on by Liquid, already at half HP. My goodness, they push so fast. You can see the pings coming out on Mickey. That's who they want to try to kill, but the bear is the real problem. There's the big Chronosphere from 23 Savage with the Mystic Flare, but it's not going to be enough damage. Crimson Guard comes out now, big vac wall onto basically everybody from Talon. The Gust to follow. There's the duel onto Mickey. Does he have enough damage? Yes, with the right click from Makoto, who's now completely out of mana, trying to walk it off, but now the bears Well, it's going to actually completely ignore them. That's what you're supposed to do in the wilderness as well. Ignore the bear, let it hit the buildings instead. In real life, that's usually trash cans. This time around, it's the melee racks, though, much more important. And just like that, Liquid going to get a full set.
I mean, Talon have no more tempo now in their spells. You had to expend all of your spells to... They didn't even cut through any of Liquid at the start against the Pipe and Crimson. Nisha is just going to go for next ranks.
That's right. Another tier 3. They're going to back away for a bit. What time is it, Keza?
Torment time.
That's right. It's Tormentor time if they want. Or they could try to get another kill. Makoto doing what he's done so well throughout this tournament, trying to push the lanes, delay, delay, delay. They've had several comebacks because of this tactic. But Liquid, they've done their scouting. They've played against it.
80 seconds on the chrono. Like, your spells are not ready for this. It could be Torment time, or it could be High Ground time.
It's never Torment time for Liquid.
It's High Ground time, baby.
That's right. They got their Pine Cone ready to go to set up with the bear. Very familiar sight for him in the wilderness. And the tier 3 tower is going to drop. And now the second set of racks in peril as Talon trying to backstab with 2 members from behind. But the flank is going to be too late, even if they get several kills.
They're flanking
They've
the
lost
creep
2
wave.
sets of racks. Maybe they're trying to flank their own Tormentor. No. They are just killing the creeps, and now it's Torment time. Liquid looking to steal the most important objective on the map. Who's gonna get the shard? It's worthless! Jesus, of all the shards! God!
You can get a second creep to end the game. It's not actually that bad.
I'm just kidding. It's actually okay.
Okay, it's just fake
It's
hype.
just not. It's just fake. That's my job. Fake hype boxing.
Ooh.
Nice impale into the gust. Ollie with his ult, though, will
On
be
the
able to get him out.
vacuum.
Not in time. It gets canceled. Ollie is dead as well. Oh, boy.
In come the little friends. Shard on Nisha now as well. More, just you can get the dispels off, more movement speed, more attack speed.
Dire scan.
Yeah, I don't know. 23 Savage. Age is expiring soon. 10 seconds. Oop.
Yes.
And now you're dead.
Q getting run down by the bear. He gets, oh, there's the
phylactery
phylactery.
slow,
Will
very
that
cool.
save his life? Absolutely not. He's dead. 15k lead for Liquid, looking for mega creeps. They don't have their Aegis any longer, but considering the amount of damage that they've taken in these fights, I don't think they care. This Lone Druid is untouchable.
Lone Dude is missing. I think they want to try to burst him out.
23 Savage
how
looking
easy that
for a
is.
Sidewinder play with the Chrono, but again, their damage has been lacking. There's initiation from Jabs, the zip-in from Makoto
Crimson
on the
Pipe
backline.
heal.
He's going to get controlled. Do
Oh,
they
the
have the
pre-hit.
damage? No, the more damage onto the Legion than anything. He's dead, buys back instantly, but the Gust onto 23 Savage. He's done as well. No buyback for him, and now the bash onto Makoto. The press the attack is too late. And that is another death for the mid laner of Talon as their hopes and dreams are crumbling in this game number 2. As Liquid look to be taking mega creeps with ease. It's 20-4 for God's sake.
They have too much. You've got all the auras, Drow Ranger, Solar Crest. Nisha's just going to town on these buildings.
Tier 4's only thing remaining for Talon, along with these other worthless buildings, as GG's come out. Talon eliminated, and Liquid will get a rematch against Team Spirit, but this time it'll be in a best